Travis Wingate, so we'll try it again because it's the news all day today. Trump's down with the sickness. And misinformation is flying everywhere as everybody's speculating about, oh, Trump's going to take down the deep state. Or the Dems tried to attack him. Trump caused it, so it's not the Dems. And this is just karma, as is it Hindu? Call it. But the question now is, what does happen? We do know that if Trump is unable to fulfill his duties as president, he has to be relieved of duty. Pence takes over. The way to do that is either he resigns to take care of the sickness himself, or Mike Pence and the whole cabinet say, hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back. Which he could come back and run for president again. He can do that. He'd just have to wait till the next one in 2024. So, let's see. Presidential cabinet. Does he have anybody that is in line? So, I don't want history. I know the current one. Current cabinet and cabinet rank officials. Alright, so Pence is the first one to succeed, then Nancy Pelosi, and then the Senate pro tempore. They don't list them here, and I didn't check on that. It's not Mitch McConnell, it's the other guy, Grassley, I think it is. Okay, so Pompeo, and then Mnuchin, Esper. No, this isn't the. No. I need to look up presidential line of succession. There we go. Current order of succession. There we go. So, Vice President Pence, and then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Grassley, Secretary of State Pompeo. William Barr can become the president? Oh, that's not cool. Oh man, this could be ugly. So, Elaine Chao, that's Mitt Romney's Cocaine Mitch's wife. If you don't know her story, she's disqualified. So they've got her blacked out, or not blacked out, grayed out with a line through her. She's not qualified to run for president or be president. And so, hold on a second. Wow, bang. Okay, so the most likely scenario is that Pence would have to get the whole cabinet here, starting with Pompeo, Mnuchin, Esper, Barr, Bernhardt, Perdue, Ross, Scalia, Azar, Carson, Broliet, DeVos, Wilkie, and Wolf. Although they do have a B by him, he may not be qualified. Eligible if acting officers whose prior executive branch appointment required Senate confirmation are included in the line of succession, which is unclear. Okay, so he may not That's number 17, though. Nicole Wallace is on now. So, I got peanut shells from the M&Ms stuck in my teeth. So the most likely scenario is that Vice President Pence takes over until after the election and the inauguration if somebody else wins. I'm kind of wondering, though, would Vice President Pence be the presidential candidate rather than the vice presidential candidate? And would he then pick somebody at the last minute? So that's going to be interesting to watch. Because if it's Pence versus Biden, I think Pence is going to get his butt kicked. But who knows? We might see the Republicans who gave up on Trump decide, oh, well, okay, Pence, all right, fine, as long as it's not Trump. We might have a wave right back into the Republican Party with Pence, unless they read his biography by somebody else. It's not good. He's a horrible human being. He just is the old school Republican. He keeps it quiet. So, at the worst case scenario, we lose everybody. And the only way that would happen is if Trump goes down and the white supremacists rise up. That would be a worst case scenario. So it's very interesting. I think the removal of Trump from the position will sort of ruin plans to start the New World Order, unless Nancy Pelosi's in on it. She has been doing some very frustrating things, but I don't know. I don't like either choice, but Kamala Harris, you know, if Biden comes down with the sickness, Kamala Harris could be the first black woman president. Wouldn't that be awesome? And from Southern or Northern California, where I was raised. So, yeah, very, very interesting dilemma. It's interesting as to whether Pence will decide, hey, I'm going to throw him under the bus. We're going to get the whole cabinet to say, Trump can't perform anymore, 25th Amendment. Signed, sealed, delivered, you're gone. Then the question then becomes, Trump is now a regular citizen again. Pence would have to pardon him. Let me check Nixon's pardon, because I think you have to be, well, he resigned before getting indicted. Pardon of Richard Nixon. Because can Pence pardon Trump of any future indictments? And thus prior to becoming president. Let's see. After Ford left White House, he privately justified his pardon. Let's see. The pardon of President Nixon, Proclamation 4311, was a presidential proclamation issued by the President of the United States, Gerald Ford, on September 8th, 74. Ford granted to Nixon, his predecessor, a full and unconditional pardon for any crimes that he might have committed against the United States as president. In particular, the pardon covered Nixon's actions during the Watergate scandal in a television broadcast. Okay. Smoking gun tape. Position. Time to heal. Haig was explaining what he and Nixon's staff thought were Nixon's only options. Haig told Ford that some of Nixon's staff suggested that Nixon could agree to resign. It doesn't look like he was convicted for anything. He just resigned and left, and so they pardoned him without anybody actually pursuing any legal action. Okay, so then that means that Pence could unpopular contacted by Ford emissaries, was immediately reluctant to accept the pardon, but then agreed to do so. Stan Nixon felt he had not committed any crimes. I am not a crook. And should have to issue such a document. Ford eventually agreed. Okay. Of any possibility of an indictment. So yeah, you can pardon somebody without actually being convicted of a crime, without actually being indicted. Oh boy. America is not going to be happy with Pence. But Pence could pardon Trump. And all legal accountability is gone. Now the question will be whether the state and local level crimes can also be gone, or civil crimes. That doesn't seem to be the case. Trump will probably try to fight it in the courts to say yes it can. So that's going to be interesting. But I mean, my God, we cannot have Trump dominating the airwaves ever again. I mean, to inject ourselves with bleach or disinfectants, my God. So, yeah, we're in for a rough ride, because Pence would have to do it before the election, because he may lose. He may have Mitt Romney be his running mate. Man, I don't think we've ever experienced this, where a candidate can't run for the election. Well, Joseph Smith, the Mormon Church, yes. He was assassinated during the candidacy. But that ended the whole candidacy. 2 other people ran for president instead. But we only have 2. If Pence can't be the president, and I don't see why he couldn't, I guess the Republican Party can say, well, no, we don't want you as our presidential candidate. We want somebody else. But then aren't you supposed to have a primary and all this stuff? So this could be very, very interesting as to what would happen. I would assume Pence would take over as president, since he's already president, and thus be running since he was already on the ticket, which is unconstitutional. But nonetheless, that's our system that we've had. Yeah, we'll just assume he's going to run for president, and then he'll choose somebody to be a vice president at the last month. So this is our October surprise. Maybe Putin will offer Trump to come to Russia to help his symptoms with their doctors and their vaccine. You know, they're passing out the vaccine. Belarus has been given Russia's vaccine. So, under that guise, would Trump say, oh, yes, Putin, help me. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. that would be interesting. Trump flees the country under the guise of the coronavirus. But what is going to happen? This is latter days Armageddon prophecy, guys. Moses confronts Pharaoh. Let my people go. Pharaoh says no. Coronavirus then strikes the Egyptians. The dynasty is over. So there is more to come. But is this all a show? Or is this for real? As far as everybody knows, it has to be for real. Trump can't come out and say, oh yeah, I've had the vaccine the whole time. I mean, it was bad enough when Bob Woodward had Trump on tape saying, oh yeah, I knew the coronavirus was very serious and was not like the flu and is transmitted by breath. And I purposely exposed every American to it. That was bad enough. But then to find out that Trump, a germaphobe, was immune with a vaccine the whole time. On top of that, talk about your scandal of scandals. Miracle of miracles. Da, 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 da. So, yep, pay attention. He does have mild symptoms, but that's the White House telling us that. Yep, age and obesity. Dr. Nahid, didn't catch the last name, but she's often on the show. And so, yeah, Trump's in big trouble if he does actually have it. And the mild symptoms are not mild, they're just increasing. Wow, we have a massive occurrence for the October surprise. And then we have conference weekend. Wonder what's going to happen there. I know they're under a civil case for sedition. Okay, Dr. Nadeed is responding to what Trump was just announced as going through with the symptom management. They're experimenting with a study that just came out a couple of days ago about antibodies for those with mild symptoms to see if they can prevent the increase of the symptoms. It was showing promise, but again, it's still experimental. So, interesting. Because, yeah, we all know Trump's going down if he has it, and if he's not vaccinated. And so, Putin has a vaccine. China has a vaccine. They're going full force on administering it to everybody. And so, we'll see. Another thing that just occurred to me is that we're likely to get a lot more money. Money. Because with the leader of the free enslaved world down, there's no reason to perpetuate the denial of the stimulus packages that Mitch McConnell has been refusing to let go through and have a vote on. And so, yeah, we could see a pre-election stimulus. Wouldn't that be nice? It might be more than 1,000 this time. So, expect that. We might see governors all of a sudden decide, you know what? Maybe we should shut down again. So that's another likelihood, another shutdown, especially here in Utah, despite Herbert's insistence that we're not gonna do it. So we'll see. We'll see. It would sort of hurt the church. Herbert risk hurting the church? The church insisted that the church be back opened again because the church was losing a lot of money, despite the $7 billion they get in interest every year for just tithing. My God. So anyway, yeah, very interesting. This is historic, guys. This will be in the history books for all time and forevermore. Whoever wins and gets to write history.